All right, let's close up by figuring out who and how many and why did they watch that program this past Wednesday night.
Well, we have the ratings here. There's a lot to open because it's two different shows, technically. AEW Dynamite, June 11th, 2025, 8 to 10:01 p.m., according to WrestleNomics. On average, watched by 597,000 viewers.
Ouch, they're back below 600,000 for their big summer blockbuster. That just breaks my heart.
And we'll just say it here too, AEW Collision, same night, same place, same Tony place, same Tony channel, from 10:01 to 12:04 a.m., 397,000 viewers on average.
Jeez, actually, that may be a little better than last week. So they did better. They did worse at the beginning, but better at the end. How's this all going to play out, Brian? Let's whip through these.
It's another one of those weeks. A lot of quarter hours here. These were compiled by WrestleNomics, quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. The Adam Page, Christopher Daniels backstage segment with the Death Riders backstage 2, and the start of Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. 672,000 viewers.
Ouch. Okay. They started out in the 800,000s again last week, and then, of course, plummeted precipitously, but now they're back to much of their core audience at the start. So I predict Dynamite ain't going to drop as badly as it normally does, but then the gates are going to open with Collision. Go ahead.
Yes, the gates of agony, so to speak.
Yes.
Quarter 2, 8:15, 8:30 p.m. The continuation of Swerve versus Ospreay with picture-in-picture twice. 618,000 viewers.
And there you go. They lost 54,000, but normally it's a six-figure loss because they didn't start high and they've got their main event on early, so they're trying to keep them. These are the faithful.
Well, let's see how high they can go. We go to quarter 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m. The continuation again of Swerve versus Ospreay. The post-match with the Death Riders, the Young Bucks, Prince Nana, and then this is a separate segment. The Kazuchika Okada Don Callis backstage angle. 662,000 viewers.
So do you think that they came back when they heard that the first match was still going, or just this is the fluctuation?
I don't know how that works. Do people just keep checking back in? Is the match over yet? Who knows? But let's see what the rest of the story tells us. Quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m. An ad break. The Hurt Syndicate Commander backstage angle. Mystico versus Blake Christian. Mystico and the Hurt Syndicate and Jet Speed Mascara Dorado live angle, as it says here. 573,000 viewers.
Ouch. So now they're officially down 100,000 from the start, which that ain't normally bad. It's kind of average, except that they started low. So they're already down below 6 at the end of the first hour.
Well, we go to the big 9 o'clock hour, quarter 5, 9 to 9:15 p.m. Again, as it says it here, the continuation of Jet Speed and Mascara Dorada, Speedball Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Mascara Dorada, that is, versus the Hurt Syndicate with picture-in-picture, 602,000 viewers.
Okay, so they picked up 29,000 at the top of the hour. They are still remarkably consistent for an AEW program in that they're staying in the same 100,000 range for the first hour and 15 minutes. That's very unusual.
Well, we go to quarter 6, 9:15 and 9:30 p.m. An ad break, the Adam Page Death Riders Ops live angle, and an ad break, 563,000 viewers.
And back down to, that's their lowest point at this juncture, but they're still only down 110,000 from the start.
We go now to quarter 7, 9:45 to 10 p.m. Oh, no, excuse me. 9:30 to, where are we? 9:30 to 9:45.
No, We're at quarter 7.
Quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45. I messed up.
No. Quarter. Yes, you're right. Quarter 7. 9:30 to 9:45. That's what I'm saying.
Megan Bain and Penelope Ford versus, as it says here, KJ with picture-in-picture ads. The Kazuchika Okada Kenny Omega video. 571,000 viewers.
So about 8,000 up from quarter 6, about the same. They're holding in there.
Anna J. We go now to quarter 8, 9:45 to 10 p.m. Overrun in a sense. Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega video continued. An ad break. And the beginning and middle of the Okada Omega Don Callis live angle. 517,000 viewers.
Jesus Christ. So Kenny, where did the viewers go?
Low point in the key demo, 184, down from 217 the quarter before that, so a big hit there.
Well, there's a low point for everything in the whole show, from 672 at the start to 517. It was a low point not only viewership-wise, key demo, but artistically as well.
We go down to quarter 9, the start of Collision, but the finish of Okada and Callis and Kenny's live angle, this is 10 to 10:15 p.m., the Adam Cole entrance, and the start of Anthony Bowens versus Kyle Fletcher with picture-in-picture, 498,000 viewers.
Okay, so now they're under 500,000, and their second program is going to average under 4, so here they go.
Quarter 10, 10:15 to 10:30 p.m., Bowens versus Fletcher continued. The post-match with Lance Archer, Adam Cole, the Carlos Cabrera, Atlantis Jr., FTR, Stokely Hathaway, Adam Cole live angle, 445,000 viewers.
Jesus, now we're seeing attrition take hold. They're getting the fuck out of there.
We go now to quarter 11, 10:30 to 10:45 p.m. Continuation of the Atlantis family and Adam Cole and FTR and Callis. Was Callis involved in that? It says here, Don Callis family, Hechicero, Bandito, Templario. Oh yeah, went into that match. Brody King live angle. And then Big Bill and Brian Keith and the Workhorseman backstage angle. And Mercedes Monet's entrance into the start of Tony Storm versus Julia Hart.
Jesus.
It's a lot going on there. Picture-in-picture. 501,000 viewers.
Wait a minute, they popped up to 501,000 out of nowhere for all that. Gained 56,000 viewers back. That's an anomaly.
Well, we go now to quarter 12, 10:45 to 11 p.m. Continuation of Tony versus Julia, the post-match with Mercedes, the Ricochet, Blake Christian, Lee Johnson backstage angle, an ad break, Mark Briscoe and Tomohiro Ishii and Willow Nightingale versus the M&M Collection and Taya Valkyrie, 440,000 viewers.
And they're headed back down, and that's the low point of the night so far.
We go to quarter 13, the big 11 o'clock hour. The continuation of Briscoe and Ishii and Willow versus M&M and Taya. The Chris Statlander, Wheeler Yuta, Marina Shafir backstage angle, whatever that was. And the start of the Beast Mortos versus Bandito with picture-in-picture, 384,000 viewers.
Ouch. All right.
Let's keep this rolling. We go to the next quarter, 11:15 to 11:30 p.m. Continuation of Mortos versus Bandito. Monet and Zeuxis? What? Zeuxis. Mercedes Monet and Zeuxis backstage angle. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
An ad break. The Hangman Page, Young Bucks, Nana, Swerve backstage angle. And the start of Tekla. I was about to say Thekla. Tekla versus Queen Aminata. 363,000 viewers. 11:30 to 11:45, continuation of Amanada versus Tekla, picture-in-picture. Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian backstage angle and an ad break, 3:32. 11:45 to 12 p.m. Recap of Hechicero and Don Callis family versus Daniel Garcia and Paragon. With picture-in-picture, 269. And then 5-minute overrun into the big midnight hour. Hechichero's whole thing continued, 254. 89,000 in the key demo.
So again, in 4 hours, they went from 672,000 to 254,000. That's a loss of 418,000 viewers.
One day something will gain. Just wait.
One day my gains will come.
Heard by many wrestlers, actually, that song.
Yes. They better hope it's capital gains, because I don't think they're going to gain any audience with television programs like that. But
All right.
anyhow.
Anyhow, it's your show.